Virgo. How are you? It's been a minute. I'm back with a reading for you. I've been gone. Did you miss me? I missed you guys. We're under the Capricorn full moon right now, which is fun. I'm definitely going to do you guys in Capricorn tonight. I don't know if I'm going to do anybody else. They don't deserve us, Virgo. Who does? If you guys want more from me, my website is below, all my info. I do personal readings. I have a store that I do, and Patreon. So if you want more access to me, or you just want to connect with me on a deeper level, Patreon is the place to go for that. I am just going to get into it, guys. I don't have a lot to say. I have a lot of cool new stuff in my store. I have a new release coming soon. I feel like the people that want to check out my store, check out my store. So I don't need to, I might in other readings. I don't feel like, I don't want to do it. Anyways. I hope you can understand. I just don't want to. I've been avoiding you guys just because I could feel that some fuckery was in the air and I wanted to give it time to pass. I just wasn't vibing. It's like every reading was exactly the same reading. I wasn't into it. So sorry I was gone. I'm here now. Hello. Okay, there's a situation that seems too good to be true, and it is, honestly. There's something that you need to walk away from here so you can focus on like expanding in your life, pulling in better for you, because judgment is going to be called on this person. I feel like this person is kind of like a user type. They feel like you are moving into a better point in your life. They see you blooming, and it's like they're kind of wanting to like cash in. You're just letting go of things. You're letting go of people that have used you. That's the thing with the Virgo, is Virgos are the house of service. So Virgos and Pisces are the axis of codependency. Both Virgos and Pisces are very codependent. Typically, it's a shadow side of those signs that you have to overcome. When it comes to the Virgo, it's because you rule over the house of service to others. You rule over the house of like day-to-day work. So Virgos tend to work really, really hard, and they like to be dependable, but almost to a point where people use you. If you know a Virgo, especially I feel like if you've worked with a Virgo, they are the type of people that will literally just do everybody's job. And you just kind of, most people just let them do it because they're good at it, you know? They're good at what they do. They're detail oriented, but you have a tendency to want to control others, want to fix others, and you will become like, you know, a caretaker to other people. And it's got you kind of stuck in your head because there have been situations in your past where people, you know, the leave it with the gold gives me, you know, all that glitters is not gold. There's been people in your past that seemed like they were good people, they were right for you, and they ended up being false. And I get that these people at one time in your life, they stopped your growth. There was a jealousy and animosity that prevented them from fully accepting you as you were, as the hard worker that you are, and the person that's deserving of good things. Some people are just very jealous. Like, have you ever been with somebody that was really jealous of like how well you did? They were jealous of your career. They were jealous of how much money that you made, your confidence. Even like friendships, family relationships, any sort of relationship with somebody that secretly resents you and, you know, something about you, they're going to take little jabs, try to tear you down. I do get that with jaws of judgment, though, judgment's being called on a lot of these people. Somebody has come into your life recently, and it's like they've kind of shaken you up a little bit. It could be a Pisces placement with the fish here. With waves, I get that you're doing something, or somebody has done this to you, done something that is worth celebrating. Some sort of work, or just kind of who you are, the work that you've done on yourself, something has happened that's worth celebrating, and somebody or you are like making waves towards others. I do see here that there's there's a relationship that could be forming, one where there is a lot of like physical attraction between you two. But with the Chariot, it could be somebody has Cancer placement, a Cancer or a Pisces. You or your person, whoever, somebody is on like an unstoppable track. Like they can't be stopped. So this is kind of people are either going to get with it or get lost energy, Virgo, honestly, because there's a portal here. We just went through the eclipse portal. You did the work you needed to do to elevate to a new level. And it's like people that want to partner with you, they need to do the work on their own, because again, in the past, there was a time where you would have accepted the bare minimum. You would have accepted relationships that compromised yourself and your dreams. But you've put in too much work at this point. You've done too much that you're not going to allow anybody to tear you down. You're not going to allow anybody to pull you back into an old cycle. And I get that anyone that does is going to be experiencing judgment. They're going to have judgment called on them. They might be, this especially if you've done work with your ancestors. You have to think of the type of people that your ancestors were. Not all of us had ancestors that were prim and proper. Some of us come from rougher bloodlines, that we come from fighters. And if you mess with somebody in that bloodline that is doing the work to elevate the entire, family, somebody that's starting generational wealth in a family that's had a lot of poverty, those ancestors are not going to take kindly to you messing with this person, and you might get some, backlash happening in your life. That's what happens a lot, is when you're somebody that's very protected, especially when you're a very spiritual person and you take the time to connect with spirits, you connect with your ancestors and, connect with your guides in whatever way, you're protected, especially when you're on the right path and what you do is of service to other people, which is the whole Virgo 6th house thing. Other people see the recognition that you're getting and they're spiteful, and they some of them want to take away from that. Some of them want to dim you a little bit so that they can feel like, they shine brighter. A lot of those people kind of need to watch their back, honestly. I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm just letting you know. You don't know, the protection another person has on the other side, and you have to think of take your ego out of it and look at what is this person doing with their life. Is it something that they're doing positive for their community? There might be some karmic backlash for trying to interfere. I see somebody is kind of wanting to rush towards you, Virgo, but there is anxiety here. It's a Leo placement. This person questions their strength or your strength. It's almost like they feel that you might be a little bit too strong for them, a little bit, you might be very independent, or you're very strong-willed. This person doesn't know it, and I get that they might have walked away from you after kind of like you threatened their ego in some way. For somebody's, they had a mother growing up that was, or, this gives me like little boy and like mom, mother figure, maternal figure, an older female in their life that makes them feel small or goes, the extra length to make this person feel small, to make fun of this person, belittle them. This happened perhaps in their childhood. So this person might secretly fear, if it's a man, they might fear powerful women because they don't want to be emasculated. And they fear that you might try to do that for them. And it's really coming from like it's their own thing, but they're projecting that onto you. And this person is a Leo placement, so they do have some ego, they have pride. Yeah, there's an energy here of needing to spend some time alone so that cycles can end. It's a Hermit is your card, death cards, could be a Virgo, Scorpio. Hermit, somebody kind of has to pull back and spend some time alone because they're going through a transformation. And it's ultimately going to lead to their success. They're going to be very successful. You're going to be very successful. Whoever this is. I feel like it's a cross watcher. I'm picking up on a cross watcher energy. So Virgo, somebody might be trying to spy on you and figure out what you're up to. It could be a Gemini placement here that, or you are Scorpio again, High Priestess, which Pisces or Cancer. A lot of water. There was an argument here because somebody knew something. The High Priestess knows all, but she doesn't talk about it. She doesn't share her secrets. She's the mystic, she's the intuitive. There was an argument here and something was not said. Could be a Scorpio, a King of Cups. Somebody wanted to take action in love, but there's an energy of not speaking to each other after a fight. And it's because somebody intuitively felt something was wrong and a fight transpired. I don't get that. There's a burden here. There's burdens around like what you want to put your time into, what you want to see like build. I get an energy of like, Virgo, you or your person, you kind of know, again, somebody's in a chariot energy. They know where they're going. They're going there and they're not letting anybody stop them. The energy of the other person, they feel kind of burdened because I get that they're still planting their seeds and they're trying to figure out, what do I really want to plant? What do I really want to invest my time and energy into to see like grow in my life? But with the High Priestess, somebody knows something that they're not talking about. They haven't said anything about. But there's like, it's a fight here. There's a fight that's like looming or already happened. Yeah, a feminine energy cut off the Emperor. Cut off a masculine, possibly an Aries, Libra placement, cutting off an Aries. There's the masculine energy here. The Aries wants to control a situation. But the feminine energy, the Libra energy here, or Gemini, they're too intuitive. So they called the Emperor out on something. Maybe the Emperor was planting seeds elsewhere and they weren't saying that. There's an energy of kind of, investing. If you're going to invest in this partnership or not. Yeah, there's a third party. Somebody's investing in a third party. It's within their community. So it might not be that the third party is like another person that they're cheating with, but it might be that the third party is like their friends, their family. There's somebody is coming in between this connection. I do get it's a fated connection. It could possibly be an Aquarius or a Pisces. The Fool card. It's a fated connection, but healing needs to occur before you can take a leap of faith with this person. Because again, somebody has a past, or perhaps both of you, where you've been led astray by others. You've been promised things that weren't real. There's some energy and like suspicion here, especially with the High Priestess coming out, the Death card, which is Scorpio. Somebody doesn't want to be manipulated. They're manifesting a new beginning for themselves. This is something that they've worked hard for. They don't want to be they might not want to be manifested. I feel you. It's annoying. It's annoying. You know when somebody's manifesting you, you start seeing their name everywhere. You hear songs that remind you of them. You're just like constantly reminded of this person. You might even see people that look like them. You have dreams about this person. Sometimes people will try to manifest you back. They don't know what to do with you when you manifest. Nothing's more annoying than when you're manifested by a person and they have an opportunity with you after this manifestation that they've done, and they don't take the opportunity, they blow it. But sometimes, I might have posted this on Patreon. I think this might have been something that I posted. I am like moving my office around, so if you hear knocking, it's like there's stuff under my desk right now. I have to finish organizing. What were we talking about? I hate that for us. What were we talking about? Oh, being manifested. Sometimes people get an idea of what they want. They want a relationship, they want a partnership, but they don't actually want to do the work on themselves that would make them the type of person that could be in a successful relationship or partnership. So it's like they do the work to manifest it, and then when it's right in front of them, they won't actually be the person they need to be to have this come into their life. And sometimes that is a lesson for both of you, that somebody can want what you have, want, someone like you, but not be in a place where they're willing to be somebody that could maintain a connection with you. And sometimes that's a lesson for them, that if you want to manifest something in your life, you actually need to accept it, recognize it, appreciate it, value it, do the work that you need to do to take care of it. Especially because, Virgo, you are on this path. You're on an unstoppable path towards your success here, but you're not seeing the truth. There's heartbreak that's getting in the way here. Yeah, Chariot again. The World card. You're ending a cycle when it comes to relationships. That you are too easily manipulated with somebody, because it's a Knight of Cups. A Knight is a younger teenage energy. You're allowing people that say the right things but don't show up for you, because a king is going to show up and do the right thing. An emperor is going to do the right thing. The Knight, they're like, it's a boyish energy. You have to think of, what a knight actually does. They go from village to village doing their little knight things. So, I've talked about this before. You might be the sweetheart in this village for, this Knight of Cups, but in the next village, they have another sweetheart and another one and another one, it's not that serious. This person is just very skilled in the art of what to say to, get somebody to give them a chance. There's heartbreak, but it's like you've broke your own heart because you don't follow your intuition. It's a cycle that you have to end in your relationships, because it causes, there's an energy of like, there's a lot of ego. Yeah, somebody, it's the Virgo. The Virgo hides their emotions. They don't like to show how they're feeling because they don't want to get hurt, really. It's an ego thing. A lot of people think of ego as like narcissism. Ego is like, your subconscious trying to keep you safe. Saying, okay, so we have learned from past situations that when we open up and we trust somebody, it's too good to be true. So I'm going to assume anybody that comes into my life that I try to open up to is going to be too good to be true. They're going to betray me. I get that you've been manipulated a lot and you've been hurt a lot. But you have to see the truth here is that intuitively you have known these people aren't shit, basically. You've known these people aren't shit and you let them breadcrumb you. You let them breadcrumb you. Manifesting you, Virgo, is not enough if when you are there, they're not going to choose you. They're not going to treat you well. Because at the end of the day, it's not somebody's potential, it's their actions, Somebody can promise you the world, but if they're not there when you need them, do they really matter? Are they really worth sacrificing? And I get here, you've worked really too hard on yourself to sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice. For every person that's asking you to sacrifice, your dreams, to sacrifice where you want to go, there's somebody that would love where you want to go. Not only see your vision, but want to support your vision. Not everybody is going to want to tear you down. And honestly, if it's between being single and being in a relationship with somebody that does not support you, it's better to be single. It's so much better to be single. Don't fall into the trap of I need to be in a relationship, because I'm telling you, I have never been in a relationship that actually made me happier than when I was single. Never. I have never been in a connection with somebody that I was not relieved to get away from them. Because I used to allow people to push me to the point that I hated them. I hated them because I couldn't tell them that I wasn't happy. I couldn't ask for what I wanted. I couldn't, I used to hide how I felt. I still do sometimes if I don't feel like it's something that I need to say. Sometimes I'm aware that, I am having a freak out right now, and it's not that big of a deal. It feels big to me right now because of, I have ADHD, and that's a different ballpark. We don't need to get into ADHD, but people that have genuine ADHD, not like, oh, haha, I can't focus on things, but actually have a chemical imbalance in their brain where they don't receive enough dopamine. People with ADHD have emotional dysregulation where it's very hard to control. ADHD emotions are extreme and very intense and like almost physically painful. And we're impulsive, so it causes you to, things can blow up very easily. But then we're also quick to move on from them. I think it's hard when you've been in connections where somebody invalidated your feelings to recognize if your feelings are legitimate or if you are making a problem when there's not really one, because you are feeling unsettled within yourself. And that's something that you need to kind of look at yourself and think, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why is this small situation causing such a big reaction out of me? It's easier said than done. Yeah, you're about to get recognition when it comes to work. It's because you haven't given up. You've continued to fight. There's something that you've really been working towards when it comes to work, especially a craft, a skill. You put in the work that you needed to, and you're about to be rewarded. You're manifesting something, and it's going to happen really fast. And I get here that, like I was talking about at the beginning of the reading, for some of you, it's like you are going to bring generational wealth to your family. So anybody that is trying to come into your life, attach themselves to you, that has ill intentions, your ancestor team, your spirit guides are going to make these people's lives hell. They're going to put them in bad situations if they try to harm you, basically. It might even be that they try to come towards you and they get too anxious, they can't reach out to you. It's because it's a vibration thing. You found love for yourself. You're going to, something happened during Gemini season. Something happened for you, Virgo, during Gemini season. You chose yourself in some way, and because of that, it sets you on an upward trajectory where you are about to propel yourself into success when it comes to work. And because of that, because you have found this inner love for yourself, you've finally chosen yourself, and you've said no to repeating cycles that compromise you. You have people that are wanting to come towards you. That's with any level up. Anytime you start to look better, do better, people from your past are going to see that and want to check in on you, want to know what's going on. You get into a new relationship, all of a sudden. It's you get a promotion, you start dressing better, you move to a new city, everybody wants to check in with you. It's anytime you start to level up, I think that a lot of times when somebody sees themselves as like close to your level and you suddenly shoot up to a new level, they want to kind of check in with you. And it depends on people's intentions, but people that recognize levels, I think that most normal people that are not super egotistical, not the type of people that use relationships to one up others or get the upper hand in life, that just go about their life forming connections with people that you actually just like. You enjoy their energy in some way. You enjoy being around them. You enjoy their company. You relate person to person with them. There are people that do this, and then there are people that are very status oriented and pick and choose people they associate with due to, do we have the same social status, or would you pull me up to a higher social status, So people like that, if they see you as some sort of competition socially, when they see you make some sort of move that they, feel is above them, they're going to try to come into your life in some way. I feel like a lot of these, it gives me like mean girl energy. They always want to come around and like, hey girl. I hate that. I hate that so much. Nothing was more eye-opening than starting my own business, because when you start your own business, no one is going to support you. You just have to kind of accept that the people around you, most of them are not going to support you. A lot of them are going to talk shit about you, make fun of you. I also had people that once my business started to find success, they tried to start businesses modeling their business after mine, trying to sell the same things I was selling, which is hurtful because like, not only did you not support me, now you're trying to like piggyback off of my hard work, try to take it for yourself. Which, I don't feel like those situations tend to work out, because if you're doing something for money rather than out of love, when you recognize that running a business is actual work, most people, that's why most, businesses are not going to get to the level that the person initially wanted them to get to, because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication. And I see here that you've put in the work and dedication. You didn't back down with the 9 of Wands that came out when you were confronted with, obstacle after obstacle. You didn't back down. You continued to work forward, and you kept a goal that you had in mind. So at this point in your life, there's some anxiety here because you are starting to come into your own, but you don't want to move backwards in connections, and you fear letting there's somebody moving towards you that you fear allowing this person into your life, just because you don't want to go back to where you've been before. I do get that it's a soul connection though. But the 3 of Cups came out earlier, so I don't know. Just because you have a soul connection with somebody doesn't mean that they're destined to be with you forever. Really. A soul connection means that we've had many past lives together. You don't know how they were in past lives, though. Maybe they've been shitty to you in every single past life, and they came back into this life to be shitty to you again, to see if you finally, got the message that they're not a good person to have around. Yeah, follow your intuition here, because there is a connection with somebody, but you two mirror each other in some way. I get that you mirror each other and you trigger each other in some way. Something that you do triggers this person. They don't know what to do here because they feel like you don't need them. Again, you are coming up as the Queen of Wands. They're self-sabotaging right now, but you have to know your worth at the end of the day. There's going to be a conflict resolution with this person, something on social media. They might message you through social media. They might, slide in the DMs. Somebody self-sabotages with like addictions. They might party instead of like, when they get emotional, they turn to substances. They need to go out. They need to be around people. It's like they're seeking stimulation outside of themselves so that they can avoid trying to figure out how they feel towards you. And a lot of it, again, I get that your person, they don't want to be, it's a masculine, doesn't want to be with the feminine that's going to emasculate them, and they don't want to be with the feminine that like doesn't need them. It's not in a way that they want to like control you, but I get that they like to feel needed. They want to feel, like they add value to your life, and they worry that you're a little bit too independent. You don't need them. And I get that they're cautious to move towards you because of that. They've been hurt in the past, and somebody has a wound around feminines that are very like have belittled this person. Yeah, people notice your growth here, and it's because you're raising your standards around what you'll accept, so you're not constantly drained and dimming yourself for other people. Of course, you would start to do better if you're not spending all of your time and energy trying to maintain connections with people that like make you feel shitty on purpose. Duh. Imagine if you were in one of those connections and you think about how exhausting it is to try to keep this person happy. Imagine what you would be able to do with your time and energy if you weren't dealing with them anymore. And that doesn't mean that, you know, no relationships are worth working towards. Any relationship is going to require you to do some sort of work, to make some sort of compromise. But the thing is like, are you compromising in order to make a connection that is going to, you know, fill you up? Or are you compromising in a one-sided connection? Because if you're making compromises and you are growing a connection with somebody that pours into you and you pour into them, neither of you will ever be empty because you support each other. And if someone feels empty, the one that is more full at that time would be supportive, you know, would help. And that's not that you have to be dependent on them, but they would want to, you know. It's not that you have to rely on your partner, but it's if I'm having a shitty day and you actually loved and cared for me, you would give a shit that I'm having a shitty day. And it might be that you're having a shitty day too, but you should at least be able to, you know, what's the word? It's not validate. What's the word? Not confirm. I can't think of the word. Acknowledge. Hold space. Hold space. Have you ever, I don't need to get into more personal stories. It's not important. Been in a relationship with somebody, been in a connection with somebody, when you were at your lowest, they made it worse on purpose. They made you feel like you were inconveniencing them by struggling. Those are the type of connections that, you know, when you're in the moment, this person is invalidating you and typically putting you in a position to where you feel like you need to win their approval in some way. When you end those connections and you look back on them, you're able to recognize, like, what a fucking asshole, what a shitty ass person. I had an ex that he knew that I had depression and he would intentionally trigger me into a depressive episode, and then he would give me one day where he would be nice to me. And then once that 24 hours was up, he would make me feel like the lowest of lows. He would berate me constantly. He would point out every little flaw that I had, constantly make me feel like shit because I was like experiencing depression, something that I don't really have control over this. I think it's easy for people that don't actually have chemical imbalances in their brain to tell you that you need to exercise, you need to drink water, you need to get sunshine, you need to get a calendar. And it's like, yeah, those would help, but right now I can't take a shower. I'm so exhausted and tired and sad that like, I don't want to live right now. So I'm not that concerned about working out. No thanks. You know, it's just so like, having a partner that understands your struggles, understands your flaws, and doesn't make you feel shitty for them, finds ways to be helpful, even if it's just like, oh, you need a day in bed, let me like take care of the chores today, let me do the laundry, like let me, you know, go get your favorite ice cream. Like a partner that would do something like that, that would take 30 minutes out of their day, you know, $5 for a pint of ice cream. But it's the thought that they're acknowledging that you're having a hard time and making space for it. And that's really the difference, is that nobody is going to come into your life, Virgo, and be like perfect for you immediately. You have to kind of learn and grow, and in a connection, you have to get to know a person. You have to kind of find, okay, this is what that makes this person feel bad, and I need to work on this a little bit. That's normal. That's any sort of connection. There are connections that I have this person is trying to figure out a way to communicate with you. Again, posting on social media is relevant here. Either you're going to post something, they're going to comment, they're going to message you on social media. They're going through some shadow work right now and telling you it's like you triggered this person in some way, they triggered you. That's a normal part of having relationships with other people. And sometimes you have to recognize that somebody has a trigger and that you can be accommodating for it without like making, you know, I am very tall and naturally thin. And I understand that not everybody is over 6 feet tall and has a metabolism like I do. And I also don't have an appetite most of the time. So I have never, except for being in an abusive relationship, I have never had an issue with weight, really. I've always kind of just, I don't diet, I don't worry about it. I eat what I want to eat. I do intuitive eating a lot. If I'm close friends with somebody that has body issues, I'm not going to constantly talk about like how fat I am and like, you know, like, oh my God, I can't believe like I'm struggling to fit into this. This is a size 4, knowing this person wears like a size 14 and they're insecure about that, you know, like, not that they need to be insecure about that, but I'm saying being conscious of the fact that like, oh, if my friend is like, okay, from a male perspective, something that men are insecure about, losing their hair, if their hairline is receding, I'm not going to make a big show about like, oh, my beautiful hair. You know, it's like you have to recognize when something that you're doing is triggering for another person and is not your trigger is not my responsibility. But if I want to hold space for you and be somebody that you feel comfortable with and be a good friend to you, be a good partner to you, I have to kind of recognize that this makes you feel bad, and that me making the choice not to talk about my hair, not to talk about like how skinny I am and how much weight I'm losing in front of a friend that's like struggling with their body image, that's really not going to be that big of a deal. You know, that's not like, oh my God, I can't imagine being friends with somebody and not mentioning my body around them. Like, you can do that. And if you can't do that, you might need to do some work on yourself. You know, you might need to see somebody. You might have some body issues you need to address. You don't need to make people feel bad on purpose. If you're aware that something that you do hurts another person and it's something that you can easily change, you should do that. And if somebody's not willing to do that for you, Virgo, that's a sign that they don't need to be in your life. If, you know, you have somebody in your life that does things that are triggering for you, and you have told this person time and time again that when you do that, it hurts me, I wish you would stop doing that, I have some trauma around that I'm trying to work on, but you're still doing that. If you communicate to this person that they are causing you distress, over something that they could easily change and they absolutely refuse, that's the shitbag, and get them out of your life. Get them out of your life. Know when to walk away. And also don't look for things wrong in somebody so that you can, you know, get rid of them. Because I get here that judgment's being called on people that are inauthentic in your life. But also you're attracting people that are true to their intentions. They're going to be true to their intentions they say to you. And sometimes it's hard to know the difference, but you kind of just have to watch behavior is the indicator. It's very easy to make all the promises in the world. You know, it's very easy to love bomb people. It's very easy to breadcrumb people. Is this person consistent with what they say they're going to do? Do they say something and then they follow it up consistently? And that doesn't mean that, you know, I want them to show up for me and one day they can't show up for me, but that's because they have their own shit going on. You know, like, you get what I'm saying. You have to look at people are people. Everybody has triggers. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has shit that they need to work on. And a lot of times it's a relationship that's going to kind of show you what you need to work on. It's very easy to be single because you don't have to worry about what I do is annoying and inconvenience to others because there's nobody around that I'm inconveniencing, you know. If I'm a terrible roommate, but I live alone, who cares? It's when you have other people that, you know, you're trying to maintain harmonious connections with that you find out a lot of things that you need to work on, and that's normal, and it's okay. And you got to give people space, and you got to give people, you know, the benefit of the doubt, sure. But if somebody has habitually let you down, they have habitually said one thing and done another, they have double crossed you in some way, you need to kind of see that for who it is, and don't fall for, well, I promised to do better and it was a mistake. Well, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, because if this is a mistake that you make every single week, that's a choice, you know? Like, this isn't something that happened one time, and it's like, I don't care that, you know, your dog ran away 3 years ago and you've never like recovered emotionally. That does not have anything, that does not, bad things happening to you in your past does not give you the right to cause chaos and havoc in other people's lives. It really doesn't. And it's okay to sometimes act like an asshole because I have this that's going on in my life and I'm actively working on it. Then, you know, it's okay to do that sometimes. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point, but I have been away for a while, so this is what I do. All right, I'm going to let you go. I'll see you guys later. Again, if you want more from me, I'm going to do live on Patreon. We'll see what day. I don't want to announce the day on here because I don't want people to go join just for that. It doesn't matter. I'm going to let you go. Bye.